Welcome. This is Usher from Conscious You. Join me today for a 20-minute active and dynamic stretch sequence with joint mobility, and this can also be performed as a light workout. Let's begin by grounding ourselves and getting ready for the workout ahead of us. The first exercise we're going to perform is the cat and cow. We will begin on all fours with 6 points of contact, palms, knees and toes in contact with the ground. Inhale, look up, arch your spine. Exhale, look down, round your spine. Here we are working on all the major muscles of the back, core and the posterior chain. We're going to aim for 5 repetitions of each exercise. Activating the posterior chain, scoop yourself up, inhale, arch your spine. Hold on the last repetition. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin in. Alright, next up, let's move into some thoracic mobility. Again, working the posterior chain, look up, inhale, reach across, exhale. Look up, inhale, exhale, reach across. We're elongating the body, neutral spine, reaching across, active, using your support with your left hand on the ground, keeping your wrist and fingers grounded, knees and toes on the ground. Hold in the last rep. Stay close to the ground. If you can't touch the ground, it's alright, but make sure you're maintaining good posture. Now switching over to the next side, reach up, reach across. Strong placement of the wrist and fingers on the ground. Ground your hand. You're going to hold for 3 deep breaths on the last repetition right here. Alright, moving to the next exercise to complete it. Child's position, shoulder activation and mobility. Active scapular contractions. On your fingertips, squeeze your scapula together, shoulder blades together. 5 repetitions. Next up, let's switch to both hands lifted. Notice the forehead on the ground. Be nice and stable. Activate the shoulders, now one at a time. Maintain the child's pose. Try to keep the hips as close to the heels as possible. We tend to hold a lot of stress in the shoulders and the hips, trying to relieve any pent-up stress. Now let's move to the side. Both your hands to the right side, now moving across to the left. Twist. Moving from side to side, we're going to add a little bit more movement. Twisting, looking in between your arms. Now to the left. On your fingertips, shoulders active, looking across. Working the upper back as well. Now I'm going to place the left wrist over your right, looking and twisting deeper. With every repetition, we're trying to go deeper, repetitions. All right. Let's sit down, ground our body, feet firm on the ground. You can adjust your wrist position, roll your shoulders back, chest lifted, neutral spine, dropping the knees from side to side. Maintain a 90-degree angle at the knee joint. Posture up, releasing the hands, not using the hands. Active ankle as far as possible. Maintain a 90-90 position. Chest lifted, body upright, neutral spine. Now let's adjust and center. Add a little bit more movement here. Pushing the hips forward. We add additional movement. Move from side to side. Drop the knees down. Push the hips. Activate the quads. Knees and ankles active. This one's a little challenging. If you're new to the exercise, use your hands. If you've done this before, try not using the hands, but maintain good form and posture. Extend the hips forward, squeeze the glutes, drop down gently, ground the feet, active quads, knees, ankles, glutes active, core engaged. All right, keep moving. We're aiming for 5 on each side. Add one last movement here. Drop the knees down, push your hips forward, squeeze the glutes, left leg forward, ankle flexion. Switch over, neutralize first to the other side, active, squeeze the glutes, feet firm, reach across, ankle flexion, back to neutral, and center yourself. Use your hands this time. If this is difficult, this is a challenging exercise, use your hands. Activate the muscles in your lower body, especially around your knee joint and the ankle joint. You want to stabilize as far as possible. Move slowly and gently. Resetting between every repetition. Take your time. Work evenly on both sides. With every repetition, you can go further when you're reaching with your hands. Oh, that was quite challenging. Now over to the next exercise. Let's get in the squat position. Take a moment, reset. Open up the hips, chest lifted. Moving from side to side, internal and external rotation, working the ankle, knees and hips. You want to be parallel to the ground with the quads, maintaining the active squat position, working all the major muscle groups and joints of the lower half of the body, adding different variations. Now let's stand up, shake the legs out, reset, get to the top of the mat. Almost halfway through the exercise sequence. All right, Crawl into plank. Roll your shoulders back, chest lifted, knees soft, feet firm on the ground. Crawling out onto your fingertips into high plank position, active quads, core engaged, glutes engaged. Let's see an easier variation. Get into a squat, reach forward, crawl out onto your fingertips, onto your palms, engage the core, and get back up. Neutral spine, push your hips back, reach forward, crawl into high plank, roll over onto your toes if possible, crawl back in and rise. Maintain good form and technique, guys. I don't want you to sink in too low when you do the squat. Be parallel to the ground to make sure all the major muscles of the lower body are working. One last rep. Maintain the high plank onto your toes. Now reach across into a pike plank. A high plank to a pike plank position. Here we're working the hamstring specifically, the posterior chain, lower back, upper back, and also shoulders. Your core is going to be engaged and active. Try to send the heels as close to the ground as possible. Aim for 5 reps on each side. If you have tight hamstrings, you can keep your knees soft or even the knees bent. On your last rep, hold, stay active and grounded. Let's switch to the next side. Left hand across. Let's hold the plank for a short bit first. Now holding the ankle, hips up nice and high, in a strong pike position for 3 deep breaths. Reset, roll over onto your toes, slight rounding of the spine to engage the core, maximum core engagement. Now step your right leg in, moving into a lizard position in the next exercise, rocking forward and back. We're working on the ankle, hips, also the knees, shoulders. We're going to go for easier sequence by pushing the knee to the floor, knee on the ground, left leg rocking and rolling. Let's rock and roll, guys. 5 clockwise, 5 anti-clockwise. Excellent to prime the hips. Nice easy movements. Now let's push the knee out, working on external rotation of the knees and the hips. Ankles also working. Hold in the last rep. Left leg active. Reset into high plank. Step with the left leg. Rock forward and back. Here you can see the ankles working. If you have tight ankles, the heels might lift. You decide the amount of range of motion you want to take your body through. You can keep the knee slightly bent. Observe the right knee. You can also keep the knee on the ground. Work with the body you have today and how you're feeling today. Pushing the knee outwards, external rotation, be gentle. On the last rep, we're going to hold. You decide how much you want to take your body through. Alright, stepping back into high plank and right leg back in, working on the shoulders and hips once again. Easier technique, easier. Right elbow to the floor. Reach up to the ceiling. thoracic mobility, shoulders, working the hips, also the posterior chain. Hold the last rep. Work on the shoulder joint, internal external rotation. Now let's switch to the left side. Left elbow to the floor. Reach across and up to the ceiling. Neutral spine. You can bend the knees or keep them on the floor. You don't have to get the elbow close to the ground or even touch the ground. Work with the body you have today. Step into a deep squat. Keep the chest lifted, neutral spine. So this is a deep squat, but for the next exercise for the hip extension, we're gonna keep an active squat, maintaining a squat parallel to the floor. Soon you'll see me adjusting. Right hand back, left hand back, chest lifted, hips all the way up to the ceiling, squeeze the glutes, walk back in gently and slightly lifted to activate the quads. Squeeze the glutes, feet firm, walk in, chest lifted. Take your time with this movement. We're aiming for 5 repetitions on each side. Don't sink too low. When you reset, get back into squat position and active squat position, quads parallel to the floor. Move with your breathing if possible. Feet firm. If you have tight ankle joints, you can be on your toes, but I like when we maintain a parallel to ground squat. So basically the quads are parallel to the floor so that you don't have to compromise position. Ground your feet. Make sure the balls of your feet are pressed on the floor. Keep moving. Alright, let's reset. One more variation. Let's add a little twist. Left hand to the ground, reach across, twist. Rotation of the torso. Again, work with the body you have today. Aspire to reach the goals in the future. Work towards that. Results will come if you put in the work. Notice the active squat position. Great way to work the quads, hamstrings, glutes. Back into standing position. Sit down, relax. Give yourself a little pat on the back. You're done with the workout. Thank yourself. Thank your body. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Be healthy. And remember to take care of your mind and body. Until next time, this is Usher signing off. Bye-bye.